Welcome, everyone. My name is Nick Hershey. I am the president of the Mortgage Calculator. We are a non-delegated correspondent lender that specializes in non-QM and does things a little bit differently than most companies out there. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us so we can go through a little bit more about what makes us different. And then I'll pass it over to Kyle Hershey, our COO. He'll go through a little bit of the back end and actually show you a little bit of how everything works. And then we'll close it off with Jose Gonzalez, our sales manager with 28 years of experience for more of a traditional approach of how this all comes together to close loans. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll go through the general page. Most of you have probably joined from this page, but let me explain a little bit more about what we mean here and what makes us different. So as you can tell, we are all about leads and we are all about software. So myself and Kyle, we come from more of a marketing and technology background for the last 20 years. We've been building companies based on technology and software to generate leads at massive scale. So this is what we do. We're not your traditional bankers. We come from a little bit of a different angle. And that's why you see a little bit different focus here. So unlimited free leads powered by our software, which is CRM, POS, LOS all together. And we also have AI built in at all kinds of different places. Kyle will show you a few places, but it is always getting added where we can. Now, what makes us different? As I mentioned, we're not your traditional bankers. We want to give you guys the tools and technology to scale your business up exponentially and instantly. So everything you're about to see, you plug into instantly and you instantly have access to everything. So whether that's company leads or self-generated leads, we want to make sure that you can generate more leads every day, especially in this market where some of the more traditional sources have dried up. Leads are ever more important. So we want to make sure you have a system and a backbone where you can plug into and get more leads from what you're already doing, or simply plug into our company leads. So let's talk a little bit more about how we execute this all. First off, the business model. As I mentioned, we are non-delegated correspondent and we're approved with over 120 lenders and investors. So what does that mean? We've built this model in all the different types that are out there. We started at an FDIC bank over 5 years ago. Built the model as a broker, non-del and del, and found that non-delegated correspondent is the best because we can do both broker and correspondent loans for our borrowers, whatever is best for our borrowers. So we have over 5,000 loan programs where we are the lender with our 34 correspondent investors, where we fund the loan with our own money, draw our own docs, our own law firms, all that great stuff. And that's why we're always going to beat the broker pricing. We're always going to have the best rates when we're correspondent, when we're the lender, because we're taking that risk, funding those loans with our own money, all that great stuff that comes along with it. And therefore, even at the same investors, we'll get better rates for that. Now, if there's any reason we can't fund the loan with our own money or it falls outside of our scope, no problem. We have over 110 lenders for anything that's specialty or outside our scope. For any reason, what's most important for us is what is the best deal for the borrower. It doesn't matter to us which channel we choose, but typically the correspondent will always be broker as long as we can fund that loan in-house. Now, what programs do we have? Everything imaginable. So VA, USDA, FHA, Fannie, Freddie, non-QM, DSCR, all the standard stuff we obviously fund with our own money on correspondent. Some of the stuff that goes outside the box a little bit definitely has to sometimes use a brokered outlet. So commercial, mixed use, CDFI, SBA, fix and flip, construction, stuff like that would definitely be something we partner with our brokered outlets for. Now, the AI we have built in is named Calvin. So Calvin AI Loan Officer Assistant is there to help push us through all of the different channels, kind of help us find the best programs, all that kind of good stuff that comes with a little bit of loan officer assistant help. Now, the next step, how do we execute this all? With our technology. So everything you're about to see, we've written every line of code for. So it all starts with our lead generating website. So you instantly get the same website you're looking at now with the AI built in, POS, CRM, LOS, all that great stuff. You instantly have access to that. And really what's most important is this software was built by us for exactly what we do. And what that means for you and your customer is one login for you and one login for your customer. So your prospects can instantly flow from their name, email, phone number, just their basics, to pulling their own live rates, completing their own 1003, pulling their own credit, setting their own liabilities all up in our Encompass-based platform. But you don't have to log into Encompass, neither does your customer, anything like that. We have one login for you, one login for your customers, no matter what we do. We also have our instant rate quotes from over 5,000 loan programs where we're the investor. Obviously, we have all those rates programmed. And when you do those programs, it'll automatically requote your clients. Just yesterday, we had thousands of requotes go out because rates dropped a little bit yesterday. So how do we do this all? With our API integration? So over 50 API integrations, we're adding more every day. with Encompass, Optimal Blue, Meridian, Link Account Check, all the stuff you're used to. But you don't have to log in. You can use Encompass without logging in. Use Optimal Blue for pricing without having to have an Optimal Blue login. A credit check without having to have a login. Account check is VOE, VOI, VOA, all without having a login. Appraisal works 5 AMCs at the click of a button without having to have a login. It's all a click of a button. You'll also get plugged into our system where you can get instant business cards and flyers. Again, once you get plugged in, you'll be ready to go. You can capture leads from website users, no form required, something very cool we have there. A very unique proprietary system. We also have our automated social media posting. So we can post to all your networks. Again, you plug in, set up your networks, and we'll automatically post your link there so you can generate leads automatically. And for our Calvin dual Oz, we have that built in to our backend where we can run dual Oz and have our Calvin AI analysis go through it and give you some tips on which may be the best version. So that's a pretty cool way where AI is built in the actual lending part of the technology there. We also have our development staff to implement new features as needed. Like I mentioned, we do an update pretty much every week. Now, another thing that we found lacking, especially in coming from the banking world and such, is training, right? So we want to make sure we all have all the training and support available, especially since we're all remote based. So our remote learning center has everything you will need at the click of a button, no matter when you're working. We also have our daily live trainings you can plug into and learn more live. So anytime you can go to our classroom style training center, learn more, upgrade your plan, all that kind of great stuff. Or we have our live trainings 5 days a week. We do our morning mortgage rate show where we go through the live rates and a different product so you can learn about new products. 5 days a week, Kyle holds our sales training where we get our team pumped up for different tips and tricks on how to increase their pipeline. And then 2 days per week, we go into an in-depth loan officer training, more of an actual loan, putting together loans and stuff like that. We also have our live Zoom support. So again, we're remote based, but we want to get face-to-face. So we have our live Zoom support 5 days per week at regular business hours. You can jump in there, get face-to-face. They can take over your computer, help you get unstuck. So since we're not in the office together, at least we need to get face-to-face and look at your computer screen and take that over. We also have our knowledge center, not only from us, but our partners. So thousands of articles and videos, tricks, tips, guidelines, matrices from us posting stuff, but then also our partners give us all kinds of stuff to go through as well and tips to get loans done. And our AI built in here is our Calvin Compliance AI, where we can search all the federal regulations and states that we're licensed in instantly with our Calvin Compliance AI in case our compliance manager is not available. Maybe you're working after hours. And the final section here is some of the items that don't necessarily fit in the other sections, but I'm very passionate about the first item here, business purpose loans, DSCR loans in 44 states. So we love to work with investors and we can expand our footprint in more states than you may be licensed in by doing our business purpose loans, which is definitely one of our focuses. We are all about leads. We want to make it very simple, unlimited leads. Kyle will show you a few different ways they come in, but it's very simple, 50-50 split. We are also all about lead generation at scale. So again, you set it and forget it, plug in your social media, plug into the website, you'll be rocking and rolling, generating leads. And we can help you set up your own paid leads as well. Kyle will show you how that works. Or if you already are doing paid leads and have campaigns, we can import those with our webhook. The other cool feature we have is a button where you can refer deals to your senior team members who may be more familiar with that deal or may have the license in that state. So for 75 basis points, if you're not ready to do that loan, maybe you don't have the license, maybe it's a spouse, you don't have the ability to do it for a conflict of interest, whatever it may be, click that button, get connected with one of our team members instantly. It'll get routed to someone who is licensed and is experienced to do that type of deal. We also have instant payroll available. Since we're a lender, obviously payrolls has a little bit of a delay schedule, but we do have a button you can click to get instant payroll as well, which some of the brokers are used to. We have no monthly fees, so everything you see is going to be very transparent. There's no hidden fees, no monthly fees, no desk fees, no technology fees, no fees at all. We've built everything from the ground up so that you guys can plug and play instantly and don't have any fees to get started here. And another thing, Kyle mentioned it before we started, but again, we do our annual retreat since we don't get to meet everybody in person. We don't have an office. It's not a physical job. We're all remote, right? We want to do our annual retreat here in Miami where we can meet you face to face. So we'll cover your hotel room and you get to do the whole VIP yacht party, all that kind of cool stuff where we get to meet in person here in Miami for anybody that's closing loans on the team. And if you get bumped off, you can watch a replay video here, but let's get into the compensation plans here next. So obviously everybody wants to be a senior loan officer, and we want you to as well. This is the top comp. So 225 basis points commission. And if we look in here, that's on conventional non-QM. That's 2.25% for those not familiar. And again, very simple 50-50 split. You take one of the company leads, that would be 112.5 basis points. And that's 1.125% commission for those not familiar. So our senior loan officers are obviously going to get everything that everybody else does, but the icing on the cake here is they're going to receive those referrals from their team members, right? So not only does this come with a business partner, maybe a spouse, maybe a family member, maybe a friend, but it comes with a fellow teammate that's going to help you close that deal because it's their spouse or family member or friend. So those are the best leads we have. Those are referrals, right? Not really leads. Obviously, all our senior loan officers will have unlimited access to all our regular leads, which Kyle will show you here at a 50-50 split, no problem. And they have an opportunity to earn a monthly bonus for any volume over 2 million. So again, we want to build these systems, get you guys as much comp back as we can. So 25 basis points bonus for any volume over 2 million for those rocking and rolling. And for those that like to teach, you can become a team leader and earn 25 basis points from your team, helping them structure loans and disclose loans. Since we are the lender, we're disclosing it ourselves, right? So if you love to teach and help people structure, you can earn more doing that and build your team up. Now, how do you become a senior loan officer? The fine print here. Make sure that you pass the courses. It's all courses. Remember, we went over that in the training center there. And you must have closed 6 loans in the last 12 months. So make sure that you understand loans. It's very unique that our company allows you to do broker and correspondent at the same time. What's most important to us is that we find our customers the best deal. So in order to be a senior loan officer, you need to understand loans in general and also have some experience doing both. And then you'll be able to pass that test no problem and upgrade to a senior loan officer and be rocking and rolling. Now, all of our loan officers, when you're starting, we have our loan officer plan, 150 basis points. That's 150 basis points on conventional non-QM. That's 1.5%. And again, simple 50-50 split, 75 basis points on company leads. For conventional non-QM, that's 0.75%. So you'll still have instant access to all of our investors or lenders, the lead generating website we mentioned, our AI that we mentioned before, all the different leads at a 50-50 split. You can click that button, still earn 75 basis points. 75 basis points on referring deals to your team members. And we are licensed in 23 states for primary and second homes and 21 states for our business purpose, where you don't necessarily have to get new licenses. So you can get started rocking and rolling as soon as you pass all the courses, get some experience doing loans in 2 different channels, which is very unique, non-delegated and brokered here. Then you can go ahead and upgrade to senior loan officer by passing the courses. Very simple. There's a course there. You can go ahead and work your way through it. So as soon as you're ready, go ahead and upgrade the plans. And we want to make it very straightforward for you guys. So those are the plans. Now let's actually have Kyle show you some of the back end of where all the leads come from and all that good stuff. So Kyle, you ready?
Yes, absolutely. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right, so just a real quick run through here. We have full trainings on this, right? But just want to point out a couple features here. This is our CRM. Just like any other CRM, you can take your notes and send your emails and send your texts. You can also have our AI assistant, Calvin, craft your emails and text for you with the click of a button. You can set reminder tabs for yourself. You can put people on action plans, automated drip campaigns to email them and text them automatically on your behalf. So all that kind of good stuff that any other CRM would do. But what starts to set our system apart here is our quoting system. So you can fill in with just 6 pieces of info without pulling the client's credit or anything. Click a button here, pull up the pricing from all of our different outlets. And within 2 minutes, you can send your client a nice, pretty quote that looks like this, where they can see their rate choices. They can scroll over these things and see what they mean. It pulls in the Google map of the property automatically. It pulls in the Zestimate of the property automatically, the proposed loan info. It does the breakdown automatically of the payment, taxes, insurance, has the estimated lender fees here automatically, and of course has you as the loan originator. And then you can also add your realtor partners to this. So your realtor partners, they absolutely love this because they know when they send you a client, not only can you quote them within a few minutes, but you can attach the realtor to it too. So they know what's going on. You're keeping them in front of their client's face saying, hey, we are your team that's pushing this deal across the finish line. Who is one of your realtor partners going to want to send business to? Somebody who just sends their clients a text or an email with some general rate, or somebody who quotes them within minutes with all these different options, nice professional quote, attaches the realtor to it, the realtor's name and picture and stuff is on it. I mean, it's night and day, right? This is going to help you win over a lot of realtor partners here with attaching them to the quotes. Now, the coolest part about this is that the client can then just click start my loan application when they're ready to move forward. Now, what that does is takes them right to their borrower portal. So this is what it looks like here, where they're then prompted to start their application. That's their full 1003 all here within our system. They don't have to leave the page. It's going to prompt them for the basic documents we're going to need to upload those. It's going to show them their loan info here. It's going to show them the milestone here on their back login of where the loan is at. And that, of course, updates automatically as you go through the loan process, right? And they can also communicate with you through here as well. So that is their borrower portal that they see when they move forward with the quote. Now, let me show you what you see on your end. So this is on our back end here where you see that they've filled out 100% of this application. Notice the bar is green. That means they filled it all the way out. And what happens here is as soon as they fill out the application, we instantly and automatically pull credit. We don't make the client pay for it, right? We pull credit instantly and automatically. So they submit their application, credit is pulled. That way, when you open the Encompass API here, which again, as Nick said, you don't actually have to open Encompass. You're doing this within our CRM. So when you open Encompass, the whole 1003 is already imported into here. The credit is already imported into here. The liabilities are imported into here. So everything is here ready for you to originate the loan. As Nick mentioned before, we also have our dual auths, right? So we can order automated underwriting with the click of a button from both Fannie and Freddie. And what happens is it'll put them side by side, and then our AI Calvin will analyze them for you and tell you which one is going to be better for your client in that scenario, right? So with the click of a button, you can order automated underwriting from both agencies and then have a breakdown of which one would be better for that scenario. You also have tools in here for whether it's you or your processor. If you need documents, let's say you need a business letter, whatever it is. Now it's going to request that document from the client. You could also say, you know what, this started as a conventional loan, but actually we're going to do a VA self-employed loan. Now, I don't know what documents I need for a VA self-employed loan, but the system does. So you could tell it, you know what, it's actually going to be a VA self-employed loan, and then it's only going to ask for the documents we're going to need for a VA self-employed loan, right? So you can also request signatures through here if you need them to sign something. And of course, it prompts them to sign that in their login. They do not have to leave the page. Our legal e-sign is built into our system. They don't ever have to leave their page, right? Now, we also have, again, whether it's you or your processor using this, we have our AI assist, where with the click of a button, you can order VOA, VOI, VOE. You can file COCs, cancel loans, everything here at the click of a button. Now, what happens is once you actually originate your loan and it goes into underwriting, what's going to happen is you're going to get emails from our system when you have conditions and underwriting. And if you scroll down here, you'll see right here on the same page in the same system, we have our underwriting conditions. This is where you can either upload a condition to fulfill the condition, or you could dispute the condition and kick it back to the underwriter and say, hey, this shouldn't be needed for this reason, right? So you see, even the underwriting conditions come in here so you and your processor can work them in here as well. So everything is in this system from start to finish. This is how we're taking a client from being a name, email, phone number to communicating with them in our system, quoting them in our system, collecting their documents in our system, pulling their credit in our system, getting the full loan application in our system, originating the loan in our system through the Encompass API, processing the loan, and doing the underwriting conditions, all here in one system, one login for you and one login for your client, all throughout the whole loan process. So now let's talk about where these leads come from in the first place. So there's a few ways that we give you leads, but first and foremost, we give you leads from our ad campaign. So as Nick mentioned, We come from the advertising lead generation world. So we have leads going out to all of our loan officers 24/7 via text from our campaigns, right? So we advertise on Facebook, Instagram, Google, all these different platforms. And the lead comes in, somebody double opts in to be contacted by us, and you get sent a text message immediately to your phone. Now, you'll see here, I'm going to pull up a screenshot here. This is just from about a couple hours here of one of my test accounts, how many leads are coming in here. Notice there's some general leads, there's some business purpose leads, fix and flip leads. So all different kinds of leads coming in here. That's what's going to be happening all day. You're going to be getting text with leads that you can claim on a daily basis. Now, another way that we provide you leads is through our auto dialer. So we have an auto dialer, works just like any other auto dialer. It can call 400 or 500 people in a day. You can press a button to drop an automated text and email to them from you, right? Coming from your email with your footer saying, hey, tried to call you, sorry I missed you. So you can call hundreds of people in a day, dropping automated text and emails to them. And we give you the leads in here, right? So notice there's leads already in here. We have thousands of leads in here at all times for you to call, whether they're, foreign national or they're, purchase leads. We also have realtor leads in here. We can call hundreds of realtors in a day to build those relationships. We have even if the other list of actual leads run out, we have cold call lists in there, right? So there's always thousands of leads for you to call here in the auto dialer. We give you the dialer and we give you the leads to call. Now, another way that you can work leads in our system is that you can purchase your own campaigns. So what you can do is if you like the leads that we give you for free, you can purchase some of those yourself so there's no lead split on them, right? So you can purchase a campaign and say, hey, I like the DSCR leads. I want even more of them, and I don't want to have to pay a lead split on the back end. Okay, well, you can pay for them on the front end then. And what we do is we copy our DSCR campaign. We've already proven out that we know works, and we just put your budget on it. And those leads go directly to you, and there is no lead split on the back end. So we'll give you leads for free all day on a split, but you can also boost your pipeline with even more leads without a lead split if you pay for the lead up front, right? So we'll pay for the leads up front and take a lead split, or you can pay for the leads up front and not have a lead split. So a lot of people like to do this to get leads without the lead split and also just to boost their pipeline even more than just the leads that we're giving them. Another way to work leads here in our system is that you can import leads. So if you already have leads that you're getting from somewhere else, maybe you run campaigns with Zillow or LendingTree or Free Rate Update or something like that, we give you your custom webhook here and we give you the directions here in order to bring those leads in to our CRM instantly in real time. So if a lead comes in from Zillow and you have your webhook set up here, it's going to pop into our CRM as soon as it comes in from Zillow, instantly, automatically into your CRM. You're notified from our system. That way you can call them and quote them and do all the kind of stuff like any other lead. Right? So whether they're leads we're giving you up front for free, in real time, the leads that we're giving you, or they're leads in our auto dialer that we're giving you, or they're leads that you're purchasing from a campaign that we run for you, or they're leads you're purchasing or getting from anywhere else. Every type of way possible to get leads and work leads, we have here for you in our system. That is what we're all about. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jose here to talk about how this all comes together to actually close loans, right? So Jose, our sales manager with 28 years of experience as a loan officer and a realtor, can talk about, how this all comes together to support you as a loan officer closing more loans. After that, we'll open it up to questions. So go ahead, Jose.
Absolutely. I can definitely say that being affiliated with the mortgage calculator, I guess, pumped up my business with steroids, right? Once we started with the leads and the technology and everything that's involved, and we want to do the same for all of you. We want to make sure you're not left behind spinning your wheels. That's why we have all sorts of support for you readily available at your beck and call. starting with the Zoom room, which was already mentioned, where it's staffed by our in-house processors during work hours. Excuse me, really easy just to pop into the Zoom room, be put into a room, and be able to speak with one of our experienced processors about your situation on your loan. They can assist you with many of the basic duties other than loan structure, right? Loan structure is left up to your team leader. You are all assigned a team leader as soon as you finish your training, and your team leader is there to assist you with, for example, I'll give the example, the loan application submitted email comes out, right? That's a beautiful thing. As soon as your customer submits that email, submits that application, you get an email letting you know, and your team leader gets an email, and management gets an email. We're all copied on that email, letting you know that your borrower just submitted the loan application. We even include the link in that email that you can click on to schedule a meeting with your team leader, which your team leaders are required to do, and you're required to do as well within 24 hours of a loan application being submitted. You meet with your team leader, you go over the structure of that file, whether it's a DSCR file, a profit and loss file, or just a basic agency file with pay stubs and W-2s, right? You will meet with your team leader, help you structure your loan, and then you go off to compile the loan documents and everything else you need, because then once the file is ready, you book another meeting with your team leader and go over the file, make sure that it's good to go for disclosure. And if it's a non-delegated file where we're the lender, your file will be disclosed right then and there. You will not leave until you sign your part of the application. If it's a brokered file, which we do not disclose in-house, you still review it with your team leader. They give you the green light once the review is complete, if that's the case, and then you go to the lender's portal, upload the file, and have them disclose the file. Then we have our intake team, which then once the file is disclosed, intake will register the file for you, submit it to the portal of the investor of your choice, and assign it to one of our in-house processors. If it's a wholesale file where we're the broker, our in-house processors do not process those, but you are free to either process it yourself or employ a third-party processor. However, keep in mind, it's pretty cool that we give you the option to be able to save your customer those $700, $800, $900, even in some cases up to $1,200 that it may cost to process a non-QM file. Now, by the way, that's not what we charge in-house. It's only $500 for processing. But third-party processing, that's the cost. You could save your customer the fee. And then at that point, file's approved, your processor takes over to assist you with the conditions, and then file goes to our closing department and closes. So throughout all these steps of the way, you are always open to meet with your team leader or meet with myself as a sales manager as well. And to give an example of one of our success stories, of which we have a few, we have one of our newly minted MLOs. She picked up a lead on her own leads plan, by the way. That means it's 100% her commission on that deal, right? But it was a difficult type loan. It had a couple of issues. First, it had been denied by through another lender. They tried to put the square peg to the round hole, right? And go full doc on a file that, after the MLO and I met and reviewed the documentation that was available for that file, there's no way it was a full doc file with tax returns. It cannot be done either as a bank statement loan because of limitations on the deposits that could be documented, but it was possible to do it as a profit and loss file. And that's what we did. I gave her the action plan. She obtained the documents. And on top of that, what made this deal even more difficult was we had to transfer the appraisal. The borrower said that's part of the deal. If you can't transfer the appraisal, I don't want to do the deal. And we were able to transfer the appraisal and get that deal closed in a little bit over 3 weeks. And just to let you all know, the best part about it for the MLO, besides helping the borrower meet their objective, was that it was $1,056,000, of which she made 1.5%. That was her first deal with us. So not a bad way to start your career as an MLO in the non-QM world. And we have multiple stories like that where we give guidance to the MLOs through these different meetings and different alerts that come up, where everybody is always basically adding to the mix and helping you push your loan along until you get to a happy closing. So looking forward to assisting all of you on this meeting, structure your deals, and get many non-QM and agency closings.
All right, so let's go ahead and go over the next steps real quick, and then we will open it up to questions. So when you are ready to move forward, you're going to go to the mortgagecalculator.com/join, and you're going to join for the applicable plan. If you're experienced and you have at least 6 loans closed in the last 12 months, you can sign up as a senior straight away. If you don't have 6 loans closed in the past 12 months, you'd sign up as a loan officer. That way, you can come on board until you've reached that point, and then you can become a senior loan officer. So whichever plan is applicable to you, you're going to sign up for. It's going to take you right to the page to sign your compensation agreement. Now, you don't need to sign it right then. It's going to send you an email with it, so don't worry, take your time. Once you do sign that initial compensation agreement, that's what kicks off all of the next steps. We will reach out to you to get your employment information, ID documents, sponsor your license, all that kind of good stuff. So first step is to go to the mortgagecalculator.com/join, sign up for the applicable plan. Again, if you closed at least 6 loans in the past 12 months, you can sign up as a senior right away. If you have not, you would sign up as a loan officer. And then it'll take you to sign that initial compensation agreement. Once you do, that will kick off the next steps. So with that being said, we also dropped the link there in the chat to join. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and stop recording, and I will go ahead and get into the question.